Hey guys, so it's me, Kiani. Today's video, I'm back with another quick makeup tutorial. I'm going to be sharing with you some of my new favorite concealers and how you can get an amazing full face of makeup without having to choose your favorite foundation, concealer, bronzer, and all those things. This entire look that you see here was done completely with concealers. So if you're interested in this type of video, make sure that you click the bell, also click the subscribe button, so every time I upload, you are notified. I've also recently updated my new hair coloring video. I'm going to leave that link and some other videos for you guys to go ahead and kind of catch up on, because I know you've been missing me, right? Because you hadn't clicked that subscribe button. You also hadn't clicked that bell, so you've kind of been missing me. Don't worry about it. We're still friends. I want you to go ahead and click the bell and click the subscribe button so you can go ahead and catch up on those videos. But for now, let me go ahead and share with you my favorite new concealers. Alright guys, let's get started. Of course, I'm going to start by refreshing my skin. BADESCU spray. I get asked all the time, why do I spray my face before? I like to spray my face before I go in and start applying my skincare. It's only because usually once I first get out the shower, I don't necessarily apply skincare. I kind of let my body go ahead and cool down. So by me kind of refreshing my skin, it almost gives me the initial moisture that I have in my skin once I'm stepping out of the shower. So I'm tricking myself that yes, I refreshed it. Next, I'm going to go ahead and grab my IDEALIST Skin Refinisher. You already know. This acts as my primer, pore minimizing serum. I also get tons of requests still on my skincare routine, so you guys get a little taste of it, but I will be doing a updated skincare routine video so you guys can kind of have that right there in one little tiny spot. I've been using this RENUTRIV Intensive Age Renewal Moisturizer mainly because I still had some, and it's a pretty expensive moisturizer. I can't really say if it's doing tons different than my Resilience Live moisturizer, which is a holy grail moisturizer for me, but it's definitely doing better than no moisturizer, especially with my extremely dry skin. I popped all that on my skin as fast as you saw. I didn't speed up the video, so I'm going to kind of use my fan just to kind of dry this down just a taste. So hold please. Yes, Beyonce moment. Yes, Beyonce moment. Eyebrows, we're gonna get to that after this makeup session, okay? I've been absolutely loving, again, going back to using my Melanie Mills. This is the GLEAM Body Radiance. Usually the shade that I would grab is the Peach Deluxe, which was a limited edition one, but I've been loving the Rose Gold shade. They're very, very similar, but I'm just gonna kind of rub this on, and I think, I'm sorry if the light is turning you guys. The sun is out, and then sometimes it plays peekaboo this time of the day, so I apologize if the light keeps changing. But anyway, what I was saying, applying this Melanie Mills, I just like to apply it all the way over because it is going to minimize how much concealer I need to put on. So can you see how it just gives that skin a really, really quick radiance? Can you see that? So it's not necessarily a foundation, but it does give that skin a nice evenness, consistency. Yes. So let's go ahead and move into what I'm most excited about. I have been using concealers as my face, okay? So today I'm gonna grab my e.l.f. This is the 16-hour Camo Concealer in the shade Tan Walnut. And I have one of my more mega concealers. This is a waterproof full coverage concealer in the shade 6. And you'll see the number 6 is closer to my complexion. And this Tan Walnut is really not. But together, these make magic. So I'm going to show you really, really quick. They're very, very similar to the applicator that you would find with the Tarte Shape Tape. And I mean that by the size of the applicators. Like, they are ginormous. And I think that's why people tend to think that these are similar. So I'm going to dab a little bit. Dab a little of that. and we'll go right underneath the darker shade just to get this shade matched up. They are really similar in texture. I will say the MOIRA one is a little bit less thick than the e.l.f. concealer, so if you tried the e.l.f. concealer and it's too thick, the MOIRA one might be your jam. It gives a beautiful coverage alone, but by mixing them, I feel like I get almost a full face with the tiniest amount of effort. You see how I'm just blending that in? Remember, my skin is still kind of dewy from the skincare. It's not super wet, it's not super damp, but it's damp enough that I can bounce this concealer right along and blend it right out. Can you see how, like, it honestly looks like I just did a full coverage foundation, right? And I'm just really concentrating on the areas that I really like to have a little bit more smoothness, a little bit more coverage. In places that I don't need as much, I just kind of slightly drag it, diffuse it down. All right, I'm gonna run this right along the nose. Keep this right concentrated in the middle, the highest point of my forehead, because I'm gonna come around the outer perimeter and contour that out in just a bit. Notice I'm using a natural hair brush. The brush is by Stilazzi. I will leave their code right down here somewhere, and Stilazzi was running a affiliate sale, so make sure if you're needing brushes at this time, I want to say they're anywhere between 20 and 40% off, so it's worth a look-see if you're interested. Don't worry about around the perimeter. Like, I know it totally doesn't match just yet, but it's gonna. Just wait, just hang on. I'm gonna go ahead and set underneath my eye area. I'm gonna use my BENNYE Neutral Set Powder. Stretch my face to make sure that the fine lines are starting to settle underneath there with that concealer. And I'm just gonna pop a little bit of this powder right underneath here. Everywhere that you put that concealer, you want to set it, because I don't know about you guys, but it's starting to heat up a little bit here in the South, and although we're still in quarantine, you know, good habits are the best habits. Okay? Alright, so now I'm moving pretty quickly because I'm just trying to keep this in live time so you can get an idea of how long this actually takes. I'm going to grab another concealer, and this concealer is going to end up being my contour product. And I've grabbed my Perricone concealer. This shade is definitely too dark for me, but it works like a gem when I'm contouring. Okay. As long as you're not setting your face before you apply the concealer as a bronzer contour, it blends out really, really nice, and I'm going to show you that. I just grabbed a synthetic brush by Stilazzi, and you see how evenly that blends in? Now for this step, you want to make sure that you don't apply too much. Like, it's always easier to go back in and add more if necessary. Alright, and I blend back and forth in circular motions. I never drag down, and I kind of push it up. That way it kind of gives me more of a lifted cheekbone. And you'll see why I was saying don't worry about that forehead area. My forehead is really like a 5'6" head. So I contour and bronze really, really heavy all the way back into my hairline. And I just kind of stamp it right along. Can you see how now I have more of a highlight in the middle of my forehead, around the eye area, the chin? Can you see what that bronzer / contour does? I'm going to go underneath this neck area. Even before quarantine, I contour underneath my neck. So, baby, today has nothing has changed. And I just drag it down my neck and foundation brush and just kind of blend it in and kind of pretend like I got a tan. But right now I'm still on my winter melanin because of Auntie Rona. And I'm just going to grab that foundation brush, which has nothing on it, and just kind of bounce this along the face. Okay? I'm going to leave this on my nose because I typically sweat on my nose. So I powder my nose a little bit heavier to allow the concealer to kind of bond to that. And I'll show you in just a bit how easy it is to blend out. The Pericone concealer does have skincare inside of it, so it's always a little bit more slick than most concealers. So if you're looking for a concealer that's a little bit more hydrating, you might want to check in the Pericone line. A little bit more expensive. It doesn't have an extensive shade range, but if you can find your shade, you might actually like it. So I'll come back with my brows already done, okay? 3, 2, and I'm back. Okay, before you panic, don't. I made my brows extremely out of control so I can show you the fabulousness of this next concealer. It is by the brand called SISTAR. They're a pretty good drugstore / beauty supply brand. And I'm going to grab their It's You HD concealer. It's a skin perfecting concealer. You'll see that that shade looks very, very similar to the MOIRA concealer. But why I love this concealer so much is because the other concealers I've shown you, it have abnormally huge applicators. This one, can you see how tiny this is? So basically, when you go completely bananas and you do your brows and you need to kind of clean up, this type of concealer you want in your arsenal. So I'm just going to drag it right underneath. And my brows totally need to be reshaped again, but I've been allowing them to grow in through quarantine. And so I'm going to use this concealer a little bit heavy so it conceals all of those little hairs that are going to be part of the reshaping of the brow. Concealer brush and go right underneath and clean this up. This type of technique is really, really good for those that love a highlighted eyebrow as well. I don't mean a halo brow. I don't mean putting concealer on the top. I mean one of those when you love to do your eyeshadow and you kind of like your brow to look a little bit more suspended. This is really good. The shade is not too far past my complexion, and you'll see that I'm going to grab the brush. It basically doesn't have too much on it, and I'm just going to neaten up around the brow. Can you see how that kind of came into focus? And I'm going to also grab that same brush that I used to blend out that concealer, and I'm going to dance along that brow as well, just to make sure that you can't really tell that I cleaned up on the top. Can you see the difference between the brows? Let's do the same thing on the other side. Not bad, not bad. Now do you see what I'm talking about? Okay, now, because I know this is freaking somebody out, your OCD has kicked into level 10, I'm going to grab my fingers and I'm just going to blend this right into the brow area. So I'm going to kind of neaten up this bridge and drag it. Can you see how the concealer has now warmed up to the complexion? And it will allow you to blend it without lifting it up. This is really, really good if you have oily skin. I think this technique is amazing. I consider my nose, the way that it sweats and it removes product there. This is probably one of my top concealer tips here. Set that area, put your liquidy products on and let them blend in or bond down together, and you're going to have a much better application. Can you see what happened there? Alright, go back, same Swazi brush, and just dance around the sides so that's not so prominent. Okay, and I have to be honest, I honestly hate the color of my eyebrows right now, but I'm using up some product that I already have. I love the formula of the product that I use, but I hate the color. So anyway, I just want to give you an idea of how that concealer can kind of bring those brows into focus. Okay, let's move on. Now, of course, I did use a setting powder underneath the eye area, and I kind of use it in areas that I typically put the concealer for brightness. Now I actually want to just set that concealer. Okay, so don't forget to set it. I'm going to grab my Cozzette. This is the Essential Finishing Powder, and of course I've gone much darker. Surprise, surprise. And I'm going to use G8. This is a beautiful complementary powder to the, I'll show you. G8 is what I'm going to set my concealer with around the perimeter of my face, and then the G5 is what I use to kind of dance around my entire face after I've set the concealer. So I'm just going to intensify that concealer, that Perricone concealer that I use. Can you see how beautifully bronze that is? Can you see how they marry nice together? So dance this around. Really kind of remove that the few extra pounds that we put on since Aunt Rona showed up. I don't really have to do this on my nose. I don't have to do it on my nose because remember I put the powder underneath the concealer on my nose, so I don't really need to do it, and I don't want to incline my nose to start to sweat. Now I'm gonna grab my G5 and just kind of clean up. It's honestly a key step because this is going to do exactly what the powder says. It's going to allow you to finish off your makeup. Boom, boom, boom. Because there's so much powder going on right now to set everything. So I'm going to grab my MOIRA Endless Setting Spray and I'm just going to set all this magic. You can grab your fan if you want to. Dry it that way. I like to grab the brush that I applied the powder with and just dance it along the skin so it looks more lifelike. It just pulls everything into focus. I'll be right back. I'm going to add a lash and a lip and we'll tie this video up, okay? Alright guys, and this is the finalized look. What do you guys think? All I did was added a little bit of my Brown Eyed Girl Liquid Matte as my eyeliner. And then, of course, to top my lips, I used a shade called Present. So, aren't these two colors absolutely stunning? If you want them, you can head over to www.liptricks.com, purchase your favorite combos. So, I want you guys to comment in the description bar which one of the concealers that I show you today will you be trying. And you know what? Was there a concealer that I should have tried in this video that I have not already? You guys know I love to know. Comment down below. You guys also know I love to connect with you, so make sure you connect with me. Follow me on all my social media links to never miss another upload. If you've not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you click the bell. Also click the subscribe button so every time I upload, you are notified. Until next time, guys, thanks so much for watching. Hugs and kisses. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.